How to speak confidently in online job interviews and virtual meetings. Hello, and welcome to Real English Conversations. I'm Emma.
And I'm Daniel.
Today we're talking about something that makes a lot of people nervous.
Online job interviews and virtual meetings.
Because, let's be honest, talking to someone through a screen is weird.
It really is. You can't read the room the same way. You can't rely on body language as much.
And there's all this pressure to sound professional and confident when you're just sitting in your bedroom or kitchen.
Exactly. So today, we're going to help you navigate that.
We're not going to teach you to be someone you're not.
We're going to teach you how to show up as yourself, but in a way that feels clear, calm, and confident.
Even when you're nervous. Even when the technology isn't cooperating. Even when you're not sure what to say.
Before we dive in, if you're finding this helpful, please subscribe to the channel and give the video a like.
It really helps us reach more people, and we're so grateful for this community.
All right, let's get into it.
Why virtual interviews feel different. Okay, so let's start by acknowledging something important.
Virtual interviews and meetings are not the same as in-person conversations.
They just aren't.
In person, you can feel the energy of the room. You can make eye contact naturally. You can use your whole presence.
But on a screen, it's different.
There's a slight delay. You're staring at a camera instead of a person. You can see yourself, which is distracting.
And you can't tell if people are engaged or if they're just checking their email off screen.
All of that adds up to a lot of uncertainty.
And uncertainty makes people either freeze up or overcompensate.
They either go silent and robotic.
Or they talk too much and ramble.
So today, we're going to help you find the middle ground.
Where you're calm, clear, and in control, even when it feels awkward. The big idea. Here's the framework we're going to use.
Confidence in virtual settings comes down to three things.
1. Preparing in a way that makes you feel grounded, not scripted.
2. Speaking in a way that translates well through a screen.
And 3. Managing the awkward moments without losing your composure.
We're going to break this down into 5 parts.
Part 1. How to prepare without over-preparing.
Part 2. How to start strong and set the tone.
Part 3. How to answer questions clearly without rambling.
Part 4. How to handle pauses, tech issues, and awkward silences.
And Part 5. How to end on a confident note.
Let's go through each part step by step.
Part 1. How to prepare without over-preparing. Let's talk about preparation.
Because this is where a lot of people go wrong.
They either don't prepare enough and wing it,
Or they over-prepare and end up sounding rehearsed and stiff.
neither of those is ideal.
So let's talk about how to prepare in a way that helps you feel ready without making you sound like a robot.
First, don't write out full scripts.
Please don't do that.
Because if you write out every word you're going to say, you'll end up trying to remember it word for word.
And when you can't remember it perfectly, you'll panic.
Instead, write down key points.
Bullet points, not sentences.
For example, if you're preparing to talk about your experience, don't write, "I have 5 years of experience in project management, during which I successfully led cross-functional teams."
Instead, write 5 years project management, led teams, cross-functional.
Those bullets will remind you what to say, but they won't lock you into specific wording.
And that keeps you flexible and natural.
Here's another tip. Practice out loud, but don't memorize.
Say your answers a few times so you know what you want to cover.
But say them differently each time.
This trains your brain to be comfortable with the topic, not just comfortable with one specific script.
And finally, prepare for the feeling, not just the content.
What do we mean by that?
Before the interview, take a few minutes to visualize yourself speaking calmly and clearly.
Not what you're going to say, but how you want to feel.
Grounded, steady, present.
This might sound a little abstract, but it really helps.
Because when you go into the interview, you're not just relying on memory. You're relying on a feeling of confidence. Part 2. How to start strong and set the tone. Let's talk about the first few minutes of the interview or meeting.
Because how you start really matters.
It sets the tone for everything that follows.
And it's also when you're probably the most nervous.
So let's make it easier.
First, before the meeting even starts, check your tech.
Please do this.
Test your camera, your microphone, your internet connection.
Make sure you know how to mute and unmute yourself.
Because if you're fumbling with technology in the first minute, it throws you off.
And it's hard to recover from that.
Now, when the meeting starts, the interviewer will usually open with some small talk.
How are you? How's your day going? Thanks for joining us.
This is not a test. This is just them being polite.
So don't overthink your answer.
Just say something simple and friendly.
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
Or, I'm great, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to meet with me.
Keep it short, keep it warm. Don't over-explain.
And here's a key point. Smile.
Even though it's on a screen, your facial expression comes through.
A genuine smile makes you seem approachable and confident.
It also helps calm your own nerves.
Now, once the interview or meeting officially starts, they'll usually give you an opening.
Something like, tell me a little about yourself. Or, walk me through your background.
This is your moment to set the tone.
And the key is to start with a clear, structured answer.
Not a rambling story, not your whole life history.
Just a concise overview.
We'll talk more about structuring answers in the next section, but for now, just know this.
Your first answer should be about 60 to 90 seconds.
That's enough to give them a good sense of who you are without overwhelming them.
And it shows you can communicate clearly, which is exactly what they want to see. Part 3. How to answer questions clearly without rambling. This is the part people struggle with the most.
How to answer questions in a way that's clear, complete, and not too long.
Because in virtual settings, rambling is even more noticeable.
You don't have the same physical feedback to tell you when to stop talking.
So you need to be more intentional about structure.
Here's a simple framework you can use for almost any question.
It's called the STAR method, but we're going to make it even simpler.
Think of it as point, example. Why it matters.
Let's break that down.
First, make your point. Answer the question directly in one sentence.
Then give a brief example or evidence to support that point.
And finally, connect it to why it matters for this role or this conversation.
Let's look at an example.
Say they ask, "Can you tell me about a time you handled a difficult situation?"
Here's how you'd structure it.
Point. I had to manage a project that was running behind schedule and over budget.
Example. I brought the team together, identified the biggest bottlenecks, and we restructured our timeline. We ended up delivering the project on time.
Why it matters. That experience taught me how to stay calm under pressure and find practical solutions, which I know is important in this role.
See how clean that is?
It's specific, it's structured, and it doesn't go on forever.
Now, here's a tip for keeping yourself from rambling.
After you make your point and give your example, pause.
Even for just a second or two.
This gives the interviewer a chance to respond or ask a follow-up question.
And it gives you a natural stopping point so you don't keep talking just to fill the silence.
Because here's the thing. Silence is okay.
You don't need to fill every gap.
If you've answered the question, stop talking.
Trust that what you said was enough. Part 4. How to handle pauses, tech issues, and awkward silences. Let's talk about the awkward stuff.
Because in virtual meetings, awkward stuff happens all the time.
Your internet freezes. Someone's microphone cuts out. There's a long, weird pause.
And all of that can throw you off if you're not ready for it.
So let's prepare you.
First, tech issues.
If your screen freezes or your audio cuts out, stay calm.
When you reconnect, just acknowledge it quickly and move on.
Sorry about that. I think my connection dropped for a second. Could you repeat the question?
Or, apologies, I didn't catch that last part. Could you say it again?
Don't make a big deal out of it. Don't apologize excessively,
Just acknowledge it and continue.
because tech issues happen to everyone.
The interviewer knows that.
Now, let's talk about pauses.
In virtual meetings, pauses feel longer than they actually are.
Because you can't see people's faces as clearly, you start to wonder if something's wrong.
But most of the time, the other person is just thinking or taking notes.
So if there's a pause after you answer a question, don't panic.
Don't rush to fill it with more talking.
Just wait.
If the pause goes on for more than a few seconds, you can ask, "Does that answer your question, or would you like me to elaborate?"
That's a polite way to check in without sounding insecure.
Now here's another awkward moment. When you don't know the answer to a question.
This happens, and it's okay.
Don't try to fake it or ramble your way through.
Just be honest.
That's a great question. I don't have direct experience with that, but here's how I'd approach it.
Or, I'm not familiar with that specific tool, but I learn quickly and I've picked up similar systems in the past,
This shows you're honest and adaptable.
which is way better than pretending you know something you don't. Part 5. How to end on a confident note. Let's talk about wrapping up.
Because the end of the interview is just as important as the beginning.
This is your last chance to leave a strong impression.
So let's make it count.
Most interviewers will end by asking, "Do you have any questions for us?"
And you should always have at least one or two questions ready.
Not random questions, thoughtful questions.
Questions that show you're genuinely interested in the role and the company.
Here are some good examples.
What does success look like in this role during the first 6 months?
What do you enjoy most about working here?
What are the biggest challenges the team is facing right now?
These questions show you're thinking ahead.
You're not just trying to get the job. You're trying to understand if it's the right fit.
Now, after they answer your questions, they'll usually wrap things up.
They might say, "We'll be in touch," or "You'll hear from us by the end of the week."
This is when you say thank you.
Keep it brief and genuine.
Thank you so much for your time today. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I'm very interested in this opportunity.
Or, "I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me. I'm excited about the possibility of working together."
Don't overthink this part.
Just be sincere.
And then, after the meeting ends, send a follow-up email.
Not immediately. Give it a few hours, but within 24 hours.
Keep it short. Thank them again. Mention one specific thing from the conversation,
This shows you are paying attention and you're genuinely interested.
and it keeps you top of mind. Useful phrases for virtual interviews and meetings. Let's go through some specific phrases that can help you navigate these conversations.
For buying yourself time to think, "That's a great question. Let me think about that for a moment."
Let me make sure I give you a thoughtful answer.
For clarifying a question, "Just to make sure I understand, are you asking about?"
Could you clarify what you mean by?
For handling tech issues, "I think my audio cut out for a second. Could you repeat that?"
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again?
For transitioning between points, the other thing I'd mention is,
Building on that.
what I'd add to that is,
For wrapping up an answer, does that answer your question?
I hope that gives you a sense of,
For expressing interest, I'm really excited about this opportunity because.
what I find most interesting about this role is,
For asking for clarification about next steps. What should I expect in terms of next steps?
is there anything else you need from me at this stage?
These phrases give you language to fall back on when you're not sure what to say,
They're professional but not overly formal.
and they help you navigate the conversation smoothly. What not to do. Let's talk about some common mistakes to avoid.
Mistake number 1, apologizing too much.
If something goes wrong with the technology, acknowledge it once and move on.
Don't say, "I'm so sorry" 5 times.
It makes you seem less confident than you are.
Mistake number 2, reading from notes too obviously.
It's fine to have bullet points nearby,
But if you're constantly looking down and reading word for word, it's noticeable.
and it makes you seem unprepared.
Mistake number 3, talking too fast.
Nerves make people speed up.
But when you talk too fast, especially on a screen, it's hard to follow.
Take your time. Breathe. Speak at a pace that feels slightly slower than normal.
It will actually sound better on the other end.
Mistake number 4, bad-mouthing previous employers or colleagues.
Never do this.
Even if you had a terrible experience, frame it diplomatically.
It wasn't the right fit. Or I was looking for a different type of challenge.
Stay professional, always.
Mistake number 5, forgetting to check your background.
Make sure your background is clean and neutral,
You don't need anything fancy, but avoid clutter or anything distracting.
because people will notice and it can take away from what you're saying. Building confidence over time. Here's something important to remember,
You're not going to nail every virtual interview or meeting.
and that's okay.
Each one is practice.
Each one teaches you something about how you come across on screen.
So be patient with yourself.
If you stumble over a word or lose your train of thought, it's not the end of the world.
Just recover and keep going.
And after each interview or meeting, take a few minutes to reflect.
What went well? What would you do differently next time?
Not in a harsh, self-critical way.
Just in a curious, learning way.
Over time, you'll start to feel more comfortable,
You'll know what works for you and what doesn't.
and that confidence will come through.
Because confidence isn't about being perfect.
It's about being comfortable with yourself, even when things aren't perfect.
Let's recap everything we've covered.
Confidence in virtual interviews and meetings comes down to 3 things.
1. Preparing in a way that makes you feel grounded, not scripted.
2. Speaking clearly and concisely without rambling.
And 3. Handling the awkward moments with grace.
Remember to structure your answers. Point, example, why it matters.
Don't be afraid to pause. Don't try to fill every silence.
And always end on a strong note with thoughtful questions and genuine gratitude.
Virtual conversations might feel awkward at first.
But with practice, they can actually feel more manageable than in-person interviews.
Because you're in your own space, you can have notes nearby, you can take a breath before you answer,
Use those advantages,
and trust that you have something valuable to offer.
because you do.
Before we go, we want to tell you about another episode that pairs perfectly with this one.
It's called Tell Me About Yourself in English.
And if you're preparing for interviews, this episode is essential.
Because tell me about yourself is usually the first real question you'll get asked.
And how you answer it sets the tone for everything that follows.
In that episode, we break down exactly how to craft a clear, compelling answer that highlights your strengths without sounding like you're bragging.
We show you how to structure your story in a way that makes sense and keeps the interviewer engaged.
And honestly, once you have that answer down, everything else feels easier.
Because you've started strong. You've shown them who you are.
And that confidence carries through the rest of the interview.
So if you're preparing for a job interview, or even just a big meeting, go watch that episode right after this one.
It could be the thing that makes you feel truly ready.
Not just prepared, ready.
Like you can walk into that virtual room and genuinely be yourself.
Because that's what people are looking for.
Not perfection. Just you, showing up with clarity and confidence.
You can find the link to Tell Me About Yourself in English in the description below.
Or just search for it on our channel.
And let us know how it goes.
Thank you so much for listening to Real English Conversations.
We'll be back soon with another episode to help you communicate with clarity and confidence.
Until then, keep practicing.
And remember, you don't have to be perfect.
You just have to be prepared and present.
Goodbye for now.
See you next time.